Hi! By now you know that I love books. I do. But what you might not know about me is that I like to write, and sometimes I like to create books. That doesn't mean I'm a published author. It means I create things myself that I turn into books. Whether I just write on some paper and staple it together, or however I do it, I like to create books. I thought I'd give you a few ideas of ways you might create books at home. The first book I created that I can remember was in college. Now that was a long time ago, so this book that I created in college looked better when I created it. It was when it was new, it didn't have all these stains on it. But this was a story that I made up, and then I wrote the words and drew the pictures and put them right inside this book. And then I actually sewed the pages together and made this book. And it's held up pretty well over the years. Now, that was the first one. But then for a long time, I didn't write any books. I wrote poems, I wrote other things, but I didn't write any books. When my kids were little, we decided to write a story together. We did. And when we wrote the story, my kids drew the pictures, and we put it together in a book. Well, does this look like a book? It does to us. We had it laminated. We laminated the pages, and then we tied them together with yarn. You can see it's kind of old too, so the pages are falling apart a little bit. And then we all created the story together, and we wrote it down. That's a fun way to do a story. In fact, when young people are writing stories, a lot of times moms and dads help by writing down the words, and then the kids can draw the pictures. That's a great way to create a story. Maybe you have something like a blank book. I have several blank books that are just empty with lots of room to write a story or draw pictures. They come in all sorts of different sizes. I have bigger ones. I have smaller ones. They're easier to manage maybe. They go both ways, up and down or across. You can decide what works well for you when you are the author or the illustrator. Maybe the author and the illustrator. So that's a fun way to create a little book. Now, when my kids were a little bit bigger, we all liked to write. So they would write stories and poems, and I would encourage them to write stories and poems, especially in the summer. And then I would put them all together in a booklet. Now these books, I just printed the pages, and then I got them bound at a place like Instaprints, and they put a clear plastic cover on the front and a colored paper or plastic cover on the back so that we could have them and they'd last a long time. I still look at these books a lot too to see the poems and stories that we created when my family was young. All right, so if you want to do something that's pretty simple, you just print the paper on your computer and have it bound somewhere else. This is a fun way to create a book. Another way that I like to create books is on Shutterfly or some other service platform like that. Now with Shutterfly, I can add pictures, and that is fun for me because I take a lot of pictures. So I made a couple of books for my granddaughter. This one when she was really little, and it has pictures of her, and she enjoys looking at them even now when she's bigger. So that's a fun story. There's another one here that we did when she was a little bit bigger, and this one was called A Big Girl Can, and it has a lot of the pictures of things she can do, like coloring, maybe dressing up, things like that are interesting to her to look at in a little book. She enjoys this book too. And then I made another book for her that's all about alphabets, and she really has fun reading that one as well. We read these books together. She has a copy of this one at her house and at my house, and we read a lot together. In the back, you can see more pictures of her and her letter that she loves. So that's books created by me for her. But if kids get a little older, they could do that same thing themselves. Now, one last way I wanted to show you to create a book is still with Shutterfly, but you can paint a picture and then take a photograph of the picture you painted and have that be the illustration in the book. That's what I did in this one. This is a book that I wrote, but then I also painted these pictures and had them be the illustrations for the book. sometimes I would take my pictures and I would put several pictures together. I'll show you one of that kind. Okay, I painted the people and then I cut them out and I put them in different pictures so that I didn't have to keep painting the picture over and over again and trying to get all the people the same way. I just cut them out. That's a different way to do it too. You can do things however your imagination tells you to do them. But I thought this was a good way for you to get a few ideas of how you could create a book yourself. And now I'm going to read one of the books that I created myself to my granddaughter. Babies are amazing. From the minute they are born, babies are amazing.
This is my over?
Yeah. Sometimes babies are
Sad.
sad. Sometimes babies are
Happy.
yay, happy, happy. Babies are curious learners. What you looking at? Yeah. Babies read.
Apsis.
Yeah.
Apsis.
Uh-huh. What do babies read?
Books. From my house.
Yeah.
The scum house.
Yep. That's right.
And the
Babies can be silly.
This is my house.
Yeah, what are you doing?
This is my house.
Yeah. What are you doing?
In my foot.
Eat your
I
foot.
go the scum house.
Yeah. Are you sticking your tongue out? Yeah. Babies are determined to do the things that they want to do.
That's my fancy.
Yeah, you had your passy. Are you trying to get the kitty?
Yeah.
Yeah. When you were a baby. Babies like to play and do fun things. Oh, what is that? Yeah. Lady Ann?
It's poops.
Yeah, it's on the porch. That's right. Sometimes babies do songs with actions. Should we do it? Itsy bitsy. Can you do it? Itsy bitsy spider went up the water spout. Down came the rain and washed the spider out. Out came the sun and dried up all the rain. Itsy bitsy spider went up the spout again. Uh-oh. Babies get tired and take naps. Sometimes with Rilla, with kitties. That's so silly. Sometimes babies get messy. Uh-oh. Is that your messy page?
It's really like my ass.
Rilla licking you off. Yeah. Silly Rilla. Babies love. Babies are loved. Yeah. Babies love to spend time with their mama and dada. Babies learn about Jesus at church and at home. There are so many ways that babies are amazing.
Fire.
But no baby is more amazing than you are. Yeah.
This I go to.
Is that whose hat?
I go to.
Yeah, exactly.